Hey there, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something we all struggle with, right? How do you go from just knowing a word to truly owning it? We're going to break down a really cool method that'll help you do just that.
I mean, really think about it. You've been there, I've been there. You see a word and you're like, yeah, I know that one. But then when you actually try to use it in a sentence, you kind of freeze up, right? You know the dictionary definition, but you don't really feel it. You don't own it.
And you know why that hesitation happens? It's because most of us learn new words passively. We just see them or hear them and kind of hope they stick. But what if there was a better, more active way to learn? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. It's all about really engaging with a word, which, let's be real, is how you actually make it stick in your brain. So that leads us right to this really powerful idea, a 5-step method for basically deconstructing language. It's not about just memorizing a definition from a dictionary. No, this is about exploring a word from every single angle. Its job, its relatives, its whole vibe, you know? Okay, so here they are, the 5 steps. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, find the simple meaning. Step 2, explore its word family. 3, identify its common partners. 4, see its real-world use. And finally, step 5, build your own example sentence. This little framework is going to be our guide for the rest of our time together.
All right, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this thing actually works in the real world. We're going to take this framework and put it to the test with a couple of examples. First up, we've got the word strain. Now, this is a word you've probably heard a million times, but it has a few different layers to it. So let's see if our 5-step method can help us peel back those layers and really get it.
Okay, step 1, the simple meaning. So what is strain? Well, it can be a physical thing, right? Like the strain on a rope that's pulled too tight. But it can also be a mental or emotional thing, that feeling of intense pressure when you're going through something tough. So right off the bat, we've got 2 main ideas, physical pulling and emotional pressure.
All right, on to step 2, the word family. What's cool about strain is that it can be a noun and a verb. And look at the other words it hangs out with. Pressure, stress, tension. They're all part of the same club, you know? They're not identical twins, but they're definitely cousins. They all share that core feeling of being stretched or under a burden.
Now let's look at steps 3 and 4, which is where it really starts to click. Strain has a best friend, the word on. You almost always put a strain on something. And that helps us see how it's used all the time. Think about it. We talk about financial strain, mental strain, or even a painful muscle strain. Seeing these common pairings just makes the word's real-world use crystal clear. And that brings us to the final step, number 5, making it our own. Look at this sentence. The unexpected expense put a real strain on their budget. Bam. It's perfect. It captures that feeling of pressure, it uses its buddy on, and it just sounds right. And just like that, we've totally deconstructed strain. Okay, so that was one word. Pretty cool, right? But what's even cooler is that this method can help us untangle 2 words that look and feel almost the same. This is the next level, folks. Let's tackle liability versus obligation. So, step 1, simple meaning. On the surface, they're both about the same thing, being responsible for something. If you've got a liability or an obligation, it means you're on the hook. Sounds simple, right? But oh, that's just the beginning of the story.
Moving on to step 2, their concept group. Again, they're both nouns, and they're in the same family as words like burden, responsibility, and duty. So they're all about something you have to do or carry. But the real question is, what's the difference? We need to find that subtle detail.
And here's where we find it, in steps 3 and 4, how they're used. Think of a liability as something official. It's usually legal or financial. It's about the law, about money. An obligation? Well, that comes from the heart. It's a moral thing, a social duty. It's what your conscience tells you to do. So one is external, law and money, and the other is internal, your personal ethics. And now for the grand finale, step 5, the sentence that makes it all make sense. Check this out. While the company had a legal liability to pay, the CEO felt a moral obligation to apologize. See how powerful that is? It puts them right next to each other, showing the difference plain as day. The company had to pay. That's the law. The CEO felt they should apologize. That's morality. Now you don't just know it, you get it. So there you have it. We've taken apart strain, we've figured out the difference between liability and obligation, you've seen how this 5-step process works. But now for the most important part. It's your turn. Here's a list of words. Think of it as your practice round. Why not pick one? Take anxiety or reinforce and just try it. Run it through the 5 steps. What's its basic meaning? Who are its word friends? How do people actually use it? Then try to build your own sentence. You totally have the tools to do this now.
And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? Truly understanding a word isn't about memorizing flashcards. It's about taking it apart and seeing how it works. So I'll leave you with this question. What's that one word you've always kind of struggled with? Go find it, use these 5 steps, and make it yours. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.